In this video, I'm going to tell you why the ASICS Novablast 4 is still one of the best running shoes you can buy. What is up everybody, and welcome to 40 Runs. My name is Chris Ford and I'm a running coach who likes to review running shoes here on YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about these, the brand new ASICS Novablast 4. Okay people, so the ASICS Novablast 4. Now let me know in the comments, do you have version 1, 2 or 3 of the Novablast, or are you hanging on for version 4? Now today in this video we're going to tell you the things I like about it, things I don't like about it. I'm going to tell you the stats and features because there's a few changes here with this shoe, and at the end I'm going to summarise it and let you know whether you should buy this 4th version or not. Okay, so let's talk about the changes first, because there's a few here that have been made. Now the first thing to mention is that ASICS have changed the way they classify their stack heights. This is actually classified as a 41.5mm stack height in the heel. Still retains the 8mm drop, but the stack height is exactly the same in this shoe as in the previous shoe. So although you may read 41.5mm, it's exactly the same as the other shoe, so don't worry about that too much. Now the big change is we've got the Flight Foam Blast Plus Eco. Now that's got 20% of sort of bio product in it, and that actually has made a difference to the feel of the shoe. We'll come on to that in a little bit more detail, but basically it's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit softer, a little bit different to the previous versions, but I say we'll come on to that in just a sec. We've got a new woven upper. It feels pretty similar to the previous version, but they have changed it to a woven upper. You've now got this heel flare on the shoe. The other one was like sort of rounded off, but they've now added this heel flare, which I think is a good addition with the pull tab, and I actually do like a pull tab. We've got a gusseted tongue in here, which is good, and it helps with the lockdown of the shoe. On the outsole we've got the AHA Low, I think it's called, which is the ASICS high abrasive rubber outsole. The outsole was the biggest letdown of version 3, and they've changed it up. On here it's a tackier compound. It's also I think a little bit lighter as well. It's a little bit less dense is probably a better way of saying it. Has it improved the sort of traction on the shoe? Yes it has, but we'll come on to that in more detail in just a sec. They've increased the width of the shoe. It's been increased by about 5mm apparently through the shoe, which I think is good because it's ironed out some of the stability issues of the shoe. It's £135. It fits true to size for me. I'd say if you're somebody who's got a narrow foot, I would watch your sizing, but for me it's absolutely spot on in terms of sizing. It has grown a little bit in weight, but it's still under 10 ounces for my UK 9.5, which is about what, 280 something grams, and that's probably about it in terms of the stats and features and the changes that have been made versus version 3. Okay people, so in terms of the performance of the shoe, the foam is definitely a different feel to the previous version. This Eco foam on it, it feels a little, in some ways it feels a little bit more, a little softer, but it's lost some of the responsiveness. But what you have got is a much more stable ride with it. In the previous versions it was really unstable. I mean version 1 was too unstable, version 2 it got better, version 3 it got even better than that. But this new foam, which is the same foam which is in the Nimbus 25, is definitely a slightly softer feeling, but it's definitely lost some of that sort of maniac side of it that the previous version had. The overall comfort's brilliant. I really like the comfort and the fit and feel of this shoe. It's really on point. It's hard to say whether the upper will get warm because it's been pretty cold over here in the UK. Lace is brilliant, lockdown's brilliant. The outsole. Now the outsole on version 3 was terrible. It was almost slightly dangerous as well, to be honest with you. And I think most people ended up in the TR version, the sort of trail road version of the Novablast 3, which was a brilliant shoe. It really was a brilliant shoe, and I'd still recommend, if you can pick that up cheap, to buy that Novablast 3 TR for the winter months. It is an unbelievable shoe. But that outsole was much better than the road version of Novablast 3. But the outsole on this version has definitely been improved. They've definitely worked on it. It's noticeably less slippery. I mean, it's still not the best outsole. It's still not like the XT900 that's on the Saucony Triumph 21, which is just unbelievable. But it's definitely improved, people. They have got rid of some of these sliding and slippery issues that were on the previous version. So that big bugbear of the previous version's definitely been parked. But yes, it's not the best outsole, but it's definitely been improved. So let's get on to the things I like and things I dislike, because I think that will give you some more direction in terms of how I feel about this shoe. Okay, so look, firstly, I like the price. I think £135 is a brilliant price, and well done ASICS for coming out with a shoe that's £135. If you look at the New Balance 1080 version 13, that's on the New Balance website at £160. You've got the Brooks Ghost Max, which is about £160 as well. So this shoe at £135 I think is a great option at that price point. I like the comfort of the shoe. I really like the comfort of the shoe, actually. It's just a really good, well-made daily train in terms of the comfort and fit and feel of it. I like the stability. I like the improved stability of the shoe. I think the width of it, improved width of it, and the change to the midsole has helped in terms of the stability. I like the upper. I like the look and the feel of the shoe in terms of how it looks, the aesthetics. I know you shouldn't judge a shoe by its aesthetics, but I think the shoe looks great, and I think it's banging in this green colourway. But overall, I think the rides are positive as well as the shoe. It's very competent and very versatile in terms of, as a daily trainer, what it can and can't do. I think you can do some easy stuff in it, you can go long in it. You can pick up the pace to a degree. I'll come on to that in the dislikes. But you can pick up the pace in it. You can do your workouts in it as well. So I think it gives you that versatility that you would look for in a daily trainer. And again, it's priced right as well. So as an example, you would buy this every single day of the week over something like a Nike Pegasus. But that does lead me on to the dislikes. Now, the biggest dislike I've got with this shoe is I think it's lost a bit of its edge. The Flight Foam Blast Plus in the previous versions was a bit crazy. It was a bit manic, and you did really feel the speed, and it sort of set it out, set it apart even from other daily trainers. And if I look at the competition, 1080, the stuff from Brooks, some of the other shoes out there this year in terms of daily shoes, sort of caught up with this shoe. It was a bit of a trailblazer, the Novablast, and I really appreciated that from ASICS. I think the Novablast was a real trailblazer in terms of adding that maniac speed into a daily shoe. I think was brilliant. And what they've done, I think because of from their own success, they've sort of ironed this out to make it more stable, and they've put the eco foam in it, which is great, yeah, in terms of the sustainability. But it's sort of lost the edge in terms of that, I don't know, that secret sauce that the other shoes had. Now, that's not me being negative on the shoe, because this is a very good shoe. But the Novablast to me was always a little bit crazy, a little bit maniac, and a little bit, well, it was just a lot of fun to run in. And it's kind of, well, the best way to describe it is that the Novablast has kind of grown up. Now, the other dislike is still the outsole. It's not the best, but I'm really struggling to find dislikes on this shoe. But the outsole is still probably the one other thing that lets it down. It's much more improved, people. I've got to make that point strongly to you. It's definitely improved, but it's still not as good as some of the other shoes out there. But that's it in terms of dislikes. I really like this shoe. Really like it. But it has sort of, it's just lost that crazy, youthful, maniac, I don't know, sort of nutter side of things. The foam in the other shoes was just crazy, because I think because it was such a trailblazer. And this shoe has definitely grown up. It's definitely sort of, yeah, it's more appealing to more people, but I kind of like the fact that it was, well, just a bit crazy. And it does lead me on to one big problem. And that big problem for me is that I love the Superblast so much. And it's hard to pick between the two, because the Novablast 4, and this is again, is not a huge problem for ASICS, but it's sort of grown so close to the Superblast that I struggle in my sort of picking shoes mind to sort of go for the Novablast when I've got the Superblast there. So ASICS are a sort of, well, they're a problem because of their own success. The Superblast is such a good shoe. It's the best shoe you can buy, right? But it is £209 if you can get them in your size. And that's the problem. The Novablast has gone a little bit too close to the Superblast, and I would then go for the Superblast. If this was a little bit more out here and a little bit more maniac and a little bit more crazy like the older version, then it really does make sense to sort of have the two of them kind of thing. But they're very close, which actually is not a bad thing, because you can get these for £135 and these are £209. So really what I'm trying to say is that this is like a cheaper version of the Superblast. I don't know. I don't think I'm making much sense. But my point is that the Novablast 4, I think, and this is the way we'll conclude it, is a very good shoe, people. Yeah, it is a very good shoe. Is it my favourite daily trainer of the year? Hard to say at the moment, right? But it is a very good shoe. It's a great update. but it has grown up. It's lost that sort of rebel side to it, which I kind of digged, I kind of liked. I kind of relied on the Novablast 3 to be a bit of a nutter, where this has grown up. And I think this will appeal to a lot more people because it's more stable. It's £135. You get the ASICS quality. It's got a much better outsole on it. It weighs the right amount, and it's just a very, very good daily trainer. But for me, the Novablast was always a bit of a naughty schoolboy, and this one has just grown up maybe that little bit too much. Okay, people, so there we go. That's my sort of thoughts on the Novablast form. I think you could probably easily go out and buy it for £135 and have a very, very good shoe on your hands. Do I think it's better than Novablast 3? It definitely is in terms of the outsole, but as I said, it has lost that sort of naughtiness to it. But maybe like you might not want that. You might want something that is, you know, very capable, very versatile, and not so much of a tearaway as Novablast 3. Okay guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. Let me know in the comments whether you're going to pull the trigger when the Novablast 4 does go on sale in, I think it's 1st of December here in the UK. But yes, let me know in the comments. But that's it for me, guys. I'll catch you later.